Reddit, what's the worst thing you've accidentally texted to the wrong person? NSFW. About a year ago, a friend of mine accidentally sent a dick pic to our varsity football coach with that caption, "You want?" Dot. Coach casually responded with a no and left it at that. I imagined the coach on his deathbed, tears rolling down his cheeks as he quietly weeps. Why didn't I say yes? Gary never appreciated me. Not like he would have. One time I skipped school and stayed home without my parents knowing. And instead of texting my brother, I texted my dad. Dad's home. I just brushed it off and said my brother wanted me to text him that or something stupid along those lines. You are like whatever's the opposite of a ninja is. Texted get Chipotle to my bedridden grandmother. I don't know why this made me laugh so hard. I can just imagine her reading the text and thinking you were taunting her or something. Texted my high school football coach goodnight. I love you as a freshman, intended for my girlfriend. He made me run extra at practice the next day for telling a girl I loved her as a freshman. Life lesson learned. That, my friend, is a good goddamn coach. Accidentally texted one of my female friend's business associate that she should come to bed because the love train was leaving the station. Choo choo. Was meant for my wife in the next room. I, heterosexual male, once asked my friend, another heterosexual male, for booty pics. He and my girlfriend's names both start with the same first 3 letters. He responded with booty pics. I thought I had a hairy ass. Hold on to him. Texted a woman I work with, come upstairs to bed. I miss you instead of my wife. I once called my boss trying to call my wife. Fortunately I only said, "Hey baby, I'm going to stop at the store. You need anything?" My boss responded, "I could go for some cookies. But please don't call me baby as it's unprofessional." Fortunately she had a really good sense of humor. Not exactly texted, but iCloud transfer. My girlfriend at the time had wanted a picture of my dick. I had never taken a dick pic before, so why not? So I take the pic and send it to my girlfriend. The next day, I'm with my girlfriend and my dad calls me. I answer and he's like, "Why the FCK does your mom have a picture of your dick on her phone?" This was no ordinary picture either. I was laying on my back, got an erection and propped my dick up nice and straight and put the camera beneath my dick with my face in the background. It was some good tea. Turns out they had just set up iCloud that day. And I had used my dad's credit card for music most recently, so my phone was hooked up to their iCloud and I had no idea. I couldn't look my mom in the eyes for a while. TL. DR. Mom, get a picture of a triumphant erection of mine. And that's why we pirate music. Went to reply okie doke to a friend of mine. Autocorrect changed it to okay dyke. My friend's a lesbian. Phone's almost set up. Just need to transfer nudes to my family WhatsApp group. You make it sound like it's part of a business deal. I texted my male roommate not to forget the new batteries for the vibrator. He texted back that he had wondered why all the animal jungle sounds had stopped the night before so quickly. That was when I realized I hadn't texted my girlfriend. He did bring batteries though. He did bring batteries though. What a champ. Can you pick me up some panty liners? Meant for my sister. Sent to a guy I had a first date with the day before. He said, sure? Yeah, get the boat ready. I just told my boss I was sick and won't be in today. To my boss. It is worth noting that my boss was cool about it and responded with base fever, huh? That's such a perfect message it could pull off being a joke. My parents were out of town for the night. I invited 10-15 people over for a small get together. I incidentally sent a text to my mom when I was doing my mass text. Boy, she was that pissed off she didn't get invited. I once sent my best friend's GF a cat gif. That's about as wild as it got. Sent a dick pic to my little sister once. Still cringe about it now. Dude. I stumbled upon a dick pic on my old computer when I came home from college. I looked at it and was like I don't remember saving any of these to my hard drive. I couldn't put a face to this dick, so I stared for a while trying to see if I could remember it. As it so happened, the comforter eye the pic matched the one in the room I was sitting in. And so did the curtains. And the wall and Duogothisismabrithuspinus. I, too, still cringe. TL. DR my brother has a weird penis. I once tweeted nudes instead of sending them. Texted my pet sitter I miss you. She texted back asking if the message was from my dog. Social anxiety dictated I never hire her again. Texted my boss good night beautiful. I love you instead of my so at 1 AM a couple months ago. That sounds like it's worth a raise. My dick burns. Is there anything I should know? Sent to my mom while in high school. Rather than the girl I was sleeping with. I want you to wear that little black thing that barely covers your ass tonight. Meant for a WF buddy. Sent to my estranged father whom I had recently reconnected with. The kicker? I had told him that I couldn't see him that night because I had a family event to go to. Yikes. I don't remember all of the details because it was a long time ago, but TLDR naked pic of GF to dad. I had the pictures saved in some weird place in order to hide them, but I couldn't get them to cover the full screen, so I would text them to myself. It was an old crappy touchscreen phone. The kind that used a grid and pressure. When I was scrolling down to me in the contacts, it selected my dad as a recipient on the way down. I managed to go full ninja. Convince my mom to drive me to his house by saying it was a very angry text meant for a friend that I was embarrassed about. Got in and deleted it before he woke up. Ps I don't remember how old I was, but apparently not old enough to drive. Just for your information. I'm an old person, 70, and my husband and I are still quite playful. One night he put on my bra and panties and was dancing around. I took a picture or video. Can't remember which, and accidentally sent it to my daughter. She did not laugh. This literally happened yesterday. Was texting a friend about how some people making a decent living off sucking dick. My wife's mom texted me to see if I was doing anything after work. So we could all go out to dinner. I responded, I guess that depends on how good you are at dick sucking. To her. Instead of my friend. I've never typed I'm sorry so many times in my life. Not me, but my dad. Tries texting my sister, Carol, by using Siri. Siri asks what message he wants to send to Carl, my dad's work associate. My dad says cancel repeatedly. To which Siri sends cancer to Carl. Carl had recently been diagnosed with cancer. 2 texts actually. In Hangouts. There's a dice rolling feature, roll d20, that's fun to play with. I thought I was texting my friend. Nope. It was my boss. Me blocks the punch and inserts the fist of domination into your rectum. Establishing control over your cognitive thoughts. Me rolls d20 and gets 15. Yeah. I still have a job there. Removed. I went on a date with this girl. Went very boringly. However, I could tell she thought it was going great. We said goodbye and I was on my way. A few hours later, a friend texted and asked me how the date went. I texted with an entire paragraph of why the date sucked and why I didn't like her. I got her? As a response. To my horror, I texted the very girl I had just gone on the date with. It was extremely embarrassing, but the girl said she appreciated the honesty. I'm so sorry about your test results from the doctor. Is what I thought. I Facebook message to my best friend. I'm so sorry about your test results from the doctor. Huh? Question mark? You. For your chronic bitch face. A guy I know put a dick pic on his Snapchat story for 3 hours by accident. I'm still not sure it was an accident. Not me. But one of my sergeants. We were field training for 2 weeks. and I was working supply. The lieutenant who was commanding supply was waiting for items reports, getting them as texts. All of a sudden he checks his phone, says what the FCK, and replies very swiftly. He hands me the phone to see what was up. One of the sergeants, instead of an item report, had sent "You like the thought of me watching while you FCK other people, don't you?" The LT had replied, "Not even a sir" at the end. I laughed until said sergeant showed up to apologize and give his item report. Turns out he was trying to SXT his wife. Whatever gets you off, I guess. Not me. But when my girlfriend and I still lived apart, she sent a nude to her dad instead of me. She put the pieces together pretty quickly when she heard her dad's phone go off downstairs. My name is also 3 letters starting with DA, and ran down to delete it. Close call. That I obviously thought was hilarious. Oh. Hey Dan. Edit. Apparently I referenced something that I don't know of. Man, you gay. After my professor, who turned out to be a homozool when it was meant to be, sent to my friend cause he texted me that he just saw Matthew Perry in person and he was freaking out. My prof didn't reply or anything, so I assumed he just ignored it. When I got into his class the next day, I pretended not to know anything, and after a while I just thought he forgot about it, but at the end of the class he called me and asked how'd I know he was gay. I told him I didn't mean anything bad and had just texted the wrong person, so naturally awkwardness ensued. Long story short, he never talked to me again but gave me a grade higher than I deserved. That poor guy probably stayed up at night wondering how you knew and if you were going to out him. My ex-high school theater coach had borrowed my copy of the play Wizard of AIDS, which we always called AIDS for short, and I ran by the school to pick it up. He'd had a sub that day and left it on his desk for me. I accidentally texted "picked up AIDS. Thanks" to the guy I was hooking up with at the time instead of my coach. Texted a "good morning beautiful" message intended for my girlfriend to my dad. After 3 miscarriages and then a horribly complicated pregnancy with our son, I was warned never to have another child. I had an IUD inserted. It worked well for almost 3 years. But that morning I had tested positive on a home pregnancy test. I had to go to the doctor immediately because if you get pregnant on an IUD, the risk of an ectopic pregnancy is high. I started miscarrying while waiting for the blood tests to come back. Of course my partner was worried about me, so I texted them as I left the clinic. Well, doesn't f***ing matter if it's ectopic or not. I'm having yet another miscarriage. Goddamn, am I good at killing babies. Except I accidentally sent the text to my mother-in-law. I have a horrible, hilarious, awesome history of sending texts to the wrong person. Most are pretty harmless. Like once I was really sick and bedridden for 2 weeks. My so was taking care of me, so I texted her. She was downstairs, and asked her if she could bring me some green tea. I accidentally sent it to my mate and he actually brought it. But some are very NSFW. I was FWB with this girl from back home. And I was across the planet at the time, so we Ted Allet. I meant to send her a dick pic, but sent it to this girl I met a few days ago. I started freaking out because I legitimately liked this girl and wanted to date her. Thinking I'd just murdered my chances with her, I started texting an apology. But she sent me a nude back. I'm marrying this woman in February. My mate from the first story is going to be my best man. Texted my straight male friend. You make me so unbelievably hard. Intended for my girlfriend. He just went with it assuming I was joking with him. Edit. I accidentally a word. Also, thanks for the gold. I'll have to figure out what it does. There's nothing more gay than 2 straight men. This is super innocent, but when I was about 13 I had a girlfriend I kept secret from my parents because she lived out of town, and one day I accidentally texted cuddle to my dad. Texted my boss dick pics. Got fired. Anal tonight sent to my mom instead of my FWB. BFF to me. Well, he propositioned me last night. GF to me. Crap. Have to stay late at work. Me to GF. Do you want to have sex? Me to GF. Shti. Sorry. That was to female BFF. Me to GF. I mean. About this guy she's been talking to GF to me. Os just keep digging. Edit formatting. Back in college in my group house. We had a tradition in which we roasted the departing members each year, non-native speakers. Roast in this context means to make fun of someone in front of an audience. One guy's approach to the roast was that the woman being roasted always got good news. So he was going to give her some bad news. He asked me to text her in the middle of the roast. You are HIV positive. No problem. I'm happy to help out. Then during the roast, the moment of truth arrives. And I clandestinely hit send on my Nokia 2100. Seconds pass. Nothing. The roaster asked the roastie if she had her phone on her. But she didn't. So that's why she didn't get a text notice. I thought. Turns out. She had also changed her phone number. And a couple hours later I get a response back. WHO the FCK is this? A buddy of mine was talking to this girl and had their convo open for some reason. When I asked him to play against me at NHL 15, he got up, said to me out loud, I'm going to spank your F-kin ass, and sat down in front of the TV. He looked down at his iPhone and somehow it had recorded him saying only that. And automatically sent it to her. They're dating now, but you should have seen his face. He sat there for a good 20 seconds yelling you. Not one I sent but received from a friend after she left. He has no idea. I just left him now. I wrote it off saying something like my ears are burning, but years later found out her friend who I was into but was sure hated me actually had a massive crush on me. Ah well. Worse things have happened. Is your life a Japanese manga? A tasteful nude, boobs covered with hands and the like, to a very Christian friend instead of my girlfriend. She replied with something along the lines of, oh my god. Why would you send me this? A nude to a mate. But he sent back his dick and said now it's even. He's a good friend. Edit. Oh wow. This blew up. OMG, I'm the second top answer. Boy Scout rule of D's. I accidentally sent a text to landline to my girlfriend's parents instead of my girlfriend. Their number was under her contact info under home. I sent. I could go for some boobs right now. Her mom picked up the phone and that was read to her in the robotic text-to-speech voice. She was very confused and it never got traced back to me. Very recently I got a girl's phone number from that internet thing. I just sent her a message that read her name. I thought I was typing it into my contacts list. She was really creeped out. Last week a girl I'm dating wrote me a massage with yippee. He asked me for my number. Shortly after I asked her for her number. It was meant for her best friend. Now she turns red every time I laugh about it. Not a text exactly, but a text that turned to a call with same outcome. Very long night of drinking in the city which spilled into the morning. Got back to my friends in Jersey and needed to get home upstate almost 5 hours one way by early afternoon to walk my dogs since my parents got delayed and couldn't. Obviously wasn't going to make it in my current state. Was talking to this girl Casey at the time more than I was Casey. Texted Casey thinking it was Casey, then got annoyed she didn't understand some of what I was saying. Called her and explained I know she had to work later but I needed a huge favor. She was confused and asked who I thought it was on the phone and I said Casey. We were together the other night, to which she replied, our right name. Wrong girl. I hung up. Needless to say me and Casey didn't get very far lol. Called Casey and it all went way better than expected. Sent my dad a text meant for my girlfriend that said when daddy gets home, he's gonna give his little princess what she's been wanting all day, get ready for a long night. He responded with but mom is gonna be home tonight. Quoting Chef from The Return of Chef to my best friend. Accidentally texted my mom. I'm gonna make love to the children. My mother sent a group text to my siblings and I that said I'm really sore from all of the extended coming last night. Those glute origins. That was not information she intended to share with her children. Not me personally. But an ex of mine put a moratorium on any pictures after she accidentally texted a tit pic to her grandmother instead of me. Just got a text saying I sent Nana G my tits. To which I responded, why would you think that's a good idea? She was less than pleased. As was her grandmother.